and welcome to our home. Today we're going to be doing a tour of the various rooms of the house where I've done some sort of organizing project in. So this is our entryway. So up here we've got veils, socks for going out, pouch, which is my purse. Over here we have an out tray. So this has things that are going out of the house, so library books, things we've borrowed, if we have small gifts to give people, you know, papers to remember to bring outside the house. Our hats are in the back over here, and I have a tray here for things that are in pockets, so we can empty our jacket pockets when we get in the house if we don't think we're gonna need a jacket next time we go out. And that way things don't get lost. And also a handy hairbrush for the way out the door here. This level we have our church bag with Jesus, and there's water in there, and our prayer books. And on this side we have outdoors items, so there's some extra band-aids and stuff, sunglasses, sunscreen, bug spray, anything we might need for spending time outdoors. Each kid has their own shelf, so this is little Badger's backpack, hat, extra items. And down here is little Fox's backpack, which actually is a fox. How cute is that? And her hat, knee pads and stuff for bike riding, extra raincoats, etc. Down here we have hooks for our children's jackets so that they can hang their jackets up themselves. If we owned this place, I probably would put hooks on the wall over here where their shoes are, but it's a shared space, can't do that at the moment. We work with what we're given. Each child has a tray for their shoes. So little Fox's runners and sandals are here, and little Badger's runners and sandals are at the back door at the moment, but they go here. So starting with the fridge, we've got clear condiments and lighter condiments over here, plus the mustard. There used to be a huge mustard problem in this fridge. There was so many mustards open everywhere, and apparently we still need 3 different kinds of mustard. I don't eat mustard, I don't know about mustard, but they're all here so it doesn't get overstocked anymore. And for condiments on the other side, we have general assortment of sauces, jams on this level, ketchup, and syrup, and anything else that's too high if this is a little bit full. Now, back looking at this side, instead of using the crisper drawer for vegetables, we use it for pull-out things like sour cream. And I find this also works really well for not getting overstocked because you can see what you have easily. It doesn't get lost in the back of the fridge. And you can just pull it out, push it back in. And it didn't work for vegetables not getting lost that way. But it does work for containers that fit within the height of the fridge. Next, you can see here we have our eggs in clear containers. And I know you'd be thinking, well, eggs already come in a container that hold the eggs really nicely. Like, why would you get a different container for the eggs? But this way, the eggs don't go bad because you don't know how much is left, and you know when to buy more because you can see when you're running out. So win-win on that one. Keep our small berries right here at the moment. Butter, very tall things just go here, which is mostly potato salad and salsa at the moment because we have a separate fridge for milks. Okay, and then on this side at the top we have green things. We've got our pickled items and our lettuce. And our other vegetables, no longer in crisper drawers, go in these trays. It's easy to pull them out, easy to push it back in. And we keep our onions in a container like this. which is really great. It's breathable, so it works the same way a crisper drawer works, but instead it's in a clear thing which we can keep at a higher level, make it a bit easier to see. And finally, this is not a clear container, but I know I'm going to use it today. I just did it yesterday. I did enough cheese yesterday for yesterday and today. Shredded cheese. This crisper drawer here is for bread products, mainly wraps. We keep them here. Wraps were never a problem getting lost in the fridge because they're a common item in this household. But this way, with them in the drawer, it's just so much easier to get it in and out rather than having food piled on top of the wraps. Next we have the dairy drawer. In it we have special items. Cheeses are in here. This tray has any like lunch meats, hot dogs, and our thaw area is over here. So I've got a thawed ground beef and thawed chicken at the moment. So here is a nice slide out that has some leftover containers, cheese shredder, the bottom to the cheese shredder, and the kids' plates and cups are down here so they can get it very easily. And if I slide this out like this, there's even more containers for leftovers here. Now I don't recommend having more containers for leftovers than fit in your fridge. But again, we don't actually own this house. It's a shared space, so I kind of have to work with the desires of other people in the house. But what I've done for now is I've taken out a lot of the leftover containers that were in here and put it in a box. And it's in quarantine. And maybe in 6 months when people realize they don't miss those containers, this can permanently stay this nice. This is the food pantry, which again, this kitchen is a shared space, so I've organized it with that in mind, particularly doing large labels, which are a reminder both to myself and anyone else who uses this space of where everything goes. I try and keep like with like, so grains, carbs up here, a little bit of a mix down there. Kept the cans with soups and sauces together with sauces and soups over here. The spices and oils are easily within reach of the stove, which is helpful when you're cooking. So you can easily get in and out and stay by the stove. And these are great containers because you can pull them out, slide them back in, super easy. And these are also really deep cupboards, so if I pull it out, you can maybe see there's some back stock in the back and room for when we buy more than we need or more than fits in the container. So over here is the kitchen island, and I love kitchen islands, but this one is a little bit the death of me, because this is a shared space, and as you can see on the left there is a lot of clutter pile up that happens there, and there's not much I can do about it because every time I organize it, more things congregate over there.
Foxes, this is the room I Sarah's little bathroom.
So this here is the bookshelf where we have their music for naps and nighttime. We've got a bunch of read aloud books for the girls, some of which they're going to grow into, and we just have them out to look pretty with some decorations. We've We've got Theotokos everywhere. This right here has the calming boxes, which is really helpful when they get really upset and nothing we seem to do helps calm them down. We give them their box and it has some sensory items. They've got foxes and badgers to play with and other sensory items that helps calm their ground. Okay, and now the other one wants her calming box. So there you go.
Okay. These are the toys that I organize. Sometimes I organize those ones in my room.
So now that little badger has the calming boxes out all over the floor, let's talk about the rest of the organization here. In their room, I like to put the more creative toys. So they can do a lot of different things with these rainbow pieces. It can be a cake, a tower, pizza, you name it, they use the rainbow pieces to play with it. We also have their cars, if they want to play with their cars. Sometimes they like to combine the cars with the rainbow pieces, so it's helpful to keep them together. They have a couple of little figurines I let them have in their room. And some flowers, and a sort of pull-along toy. And those are the toys that they have in their room. Over here is their clothes. The top drawer contains the next size up. So this is little Fox's clothes drawer. Her pants go here. Short sleeve clothes go in here. Underwear and long sleeves are in the back. It's higher up because she's taller and can see what's in it easier. Then we have little Fox's clothes, pants, long sleeves, short sleeves. You can tell they've been digging in the drawer recently. And finally, both of their pajamas are in the bottom drawer. Up here is their mini icon corner, I guess. We like to have icons everywhere in every room of the house. And these are the ones that are specifically the children's.
These are my dress-up clothes.
And over here we have their ball pit and rainbow rocker and bedtime stories. And this used to be Little Badger's bed, but now it's a sort of reading nook. And we have a basket here with our more religious themed books. And now for our family bathroom, laundry room, and linen closet in one. So starting over here, we have our bathroom backstock area. So this contains extra items that we already have something open of. And this way, instead of when we run out having to run to the store and get it, we've got something here and it allows us to avoid unnecessary shopping trips. Then we have sort of bathroom tools. We keep scissors in here for opening packages, thermometer, a thing to clear out the girls' noses if it gets clogged up, nail clippers, things like that. And this has some more medicine backstock for the girls. And then this drawer has a toothbrush backstock, it's deodorant, and toothpaste. Over here has my makeup, which is mainly nail polish and some eyeshadow, because I don't wear makeup, except I bought foundation for the first time so I could start doing these videos without hopefully looking like a ghost, because otherwise my skin is so pale on camera. We've got some of my husband's vitamins and stuff in there, his medications. We've got band-aids and wound disinfecting materials in here, glasses, wipes, and other things in there. So over here we have a spinning, medicine, and hair care stand. We keep creams and lotions in here, along with this lotion and Cetaphil. It is absolutely amazing if you need to wash your child's hair without giving them a bath. It's perfect. This back here is for extra cans and recycle if they end up downstairs, so that they can all pile up in here, and then when it gets full I take it upstairs to put with the proper recycle. So over here you can see my husband's towels are kept here. We've got feminine hygiene products there, and my towels stay over here. And at the bottom we have extra white towels, which we mainly don't use, but we keep there in case something needs to be mopped up quickly. And my kids have access to their fun hair accessories if they're interested in doing their hair. Over here we have our laundry bins. There's actually 3 of them, but one load, which is called mixed laundry, is currently in the washing machine. The one in the back is darks, which has an almost empty laundry detergent in it, because I'm going to use that up the next time I do a load of darks, which is mainly my husband's stuff. It's darks and hang dry. I'm not very good at remembering to hang everything dry, but we try and keep it separate so that I know these are the special items that my husband wants me to take care of when I do the laundry. You can see the towels laundry basket, which is inside of the mixed laundry basket because the mixed laundry basket is empty and it might as well take up less space while it is empty. Finally, we have this area by the toilet. I keep the white towels laundry in there because usually it's used to clean up things I definitely don't want the kids to get their hands in. We have a spot for hanging things like socks. My husband's books are in that tray back there. I have a scent spray. The vinegar is for disinfecting the girls' little pot. And the lovely Elsa on a gift bag is where we store extra toilet paper so that we always have toilet paper on hand. In our laundry area we have static guard and wrinkle sprays that are never used, and I'd probably just get rid of them except for the fact this is a shared household and they don't all belong to me, so I can't do that. Then we have a washing machine cleaner that I just store in between these 2 trays. Here we have various stain removers, again from our 2 households put together, so there's a bit more than we would actually necessarily need, but they're stored together in here. Then there's the new dark special wash detergent. This is the detergent for the rest of the household that isn't us. And we have a nice unscented, good for sensitive skin detergent because the kids take after me, and if it's washed with anything other than something that's unscented and for sensitive skin, then we break out in rashes. Next we have bleach for white/towel washes. Our cleaning caddy is here. It's mainly got vinegar sprays in it, but there you go. Disinfectant wipes, some freeze sprays, hand soap refiller, and other stuff that's never used, but again, it's a shared space. These don't belong to us. I can't just get rid of them. So over here we have a tray that has everything we need for by the sink. So there's the toothbrushes, toothpaste in the back, my mouthwash, husband's mouthwash. It's different because I cannot handle any sort of minty flavor whatsoever. Some deodorants and other bathroom products. Then we have little Badgers diapers and pull-ups. We still have some for little Fox. She mainly never wears them, but every once in a while, if she has too much fruit and is in danger of an accident, we like to keep them on hand. And finally at the bottom here, we have the hand towels, which I have in alternating colors between that green and then a light blue, and that way every time we switch hand towels it changes color back and forth so we know when it's been changed and how long it's been out. So over here you can see our sink area. I like to keep the sink relatively cleared off. It does of course have the soap on it, and I keep the soap on top of a washcloth, and that way after every hand washing can also give the sink a little bit of a wipe down. And it has the bonus of, because when the kids use it they get water everywhere, and the bottom of the soap will collect that water unless it's on a face cloth, which absorbs the water for me. Now this is the bedroom, more commonly known as Mama Tato's room. Over here I keep all of the girls' dresses, so little Badger's dresses are here, little Fox's dresses are here, and right here I have a set of matching dresses for little Badger and little Fox when they want to match. So right when you enter the room, we have a little table with some icons, pens and writing materials, and these are our at-home quick dates. If we want to do a date night, we can just grab something out of that box, which we mostly don't actually end up doing, but we're working on it. So over here we have the shelving unit in the bedroom, which allows me to have a display on this row of some sentimental and decorative items that remind me of many of the things I'm thankful for and the blessings in my life. Like Pokemon reminds me of my husband, and when we were together for 6 months he got me Pokemon for the first time. It's the first video game I ever played, and I have a whole bunch of Pokemon cards here.
Mama,
Come here.
Mama.
And my children also love this display unit, although it's high up to try and keep things out of their reach, but sometimes I will grant them Pikachus when they request the Pikachus. You like Pikachu, little Badger?
Mama, the snake.
And the snake. Oh, okay. Here we've got some video game equipment, some granolas, and some other munchies for if I get hungry, but nice and high enough here so it's out of sight, out of mind for the little ones. So right here is our charging station. So this is my portable phone charger, which is currently charging. We have this little iPod that I use for my nighttime music, because I can't sleep with the noise that my husband's CPAP machine makes, so I drown it out a little bit with music. And yes, I also wear earplugs. It's not good enough just to wear the earplugs. And then over here, this is an old phone of my father-in-law's that he gave us, so we use it to keep extra music so we can play music in different rooms of the house for everyone. This has some more charging station stuff, but I also keep my pajama shirt in here so I have easy access to it to make sure I'm not too lazy not to get changed. This is my work laptop. I keep it in here. There's a chair over there for me to work at and a fan so that if I put it on the bed it doesn't get too hot for the laptop, so I can do my work in here. And down here, covered up by this cloth, is all the various different sizes of baby clothes that we have. Saving up for hopefully another baby soon. Been hoping for a year, so it's been a time, but we're keeping all the baby clothes, hoping we get to use them again sometime soon. My wedding dress is actually right here. It's gorgeous, I love it. I'm so happy because I can see it and look at it all the time. Got a couple necklaces on the wall behind me. So over here we have Little Badger on my side of the bed. And I have a couple books for reading, a lamp, some water, the speakers for the night music, and you can see my budget book in the back there. Hanging is my sleep mask. I've got a examination of conscience for reading at night, and my earplugs. Hanging is my temp drop and some chotke. Is my husband's side of the bed. He's got rosaries and chotke hanging. His lamp and bedside table. He's got a bedside bookshelf along with a bigger bookshelf for his books. So over here we have an elaborate setup with items to fix rosaries and jewelry and my husband's paperwork over there. This is some odds and ends, like nice scent spray for the room, some medicine that might need to be on hand for late at night, scissors for opening things, a hard drive. The red thing is a pitch checker for music with my husband's looking at for tones for his prayers.
No!
And down here we have extra sheets and blankets, other clothes, and down here we have extra pillowcases in here, and some more extra small blankets in there. So now we're here in the walk-in closet, which is a dream come true for me. I always dreamed about having a walk-in closet, and living here I get to experience one for the first time, and I love it. So over here is my husband's side of the closet. We have his nice hanging shirts over here. So if I move us over a bit, we go. Here is clean socks, single and looking for a mate. This is his socks. His wool socks are in a bin like this. There are too many, but purging socks isn't high on the priority list right now. We've got shorts in this bin. Then if we move down here, we have his shirts, which I do the KonMari fold for. He likes his clothes hidden, whereas you'll see in a moment mine are all out. Underwear, again, KonMari fold. The bottom two are just pants that are basically never worn, but they still get put there for now. And now onto my side of the closet. Hanging, I have my dresses, cardigans, and fancy Ukrainian shirts, and a couple skirts at the very end over there. You can see I have an assortment of books in the closet. It may seem like an odd place to have a bunch of books, but these are a collection of my favorite books, or books that I just really appreciate having in our collection, and I get to look at them every morning when I'm picking out my clothes, so I love it. It's a very happy sight for me, and if I had clothes at that level, it would be really hard to see the clothes and to appreciate them for what they are and use them. So instead I use that space for something else that I'd like to look at, and that works better for that height. Now here I have my jewelry tray, which pulls out. I DIY'd this for my rings. I've got bracelet and watches over here, and then just some other pieces here. And I have a hairbrush in the closet here. And here are my fascinators and flowers and a couple extra hair accessories. Again, this goes with the jewelry, but I like to hang it here to remember to wear it. My husband gave this to me actually before we started dating, and it's green, and I love green, so I love it. And then next we have my t-shirts, which are also folded. I had to learn to actually bother to fold my own clothes because I preferred to just shove them in a basket before. But I have a manageable, you can see there aren't a lot. There are 6. I have 6 t-shirts and that's it. And it's a perfect amount for me. They're mostly green. These are graphic tees, and these are all just plain t-shirts. And if I want a t-shirt, these are what I wear, and that's it. And since there's only 6, it's a very manageable number to manage. It makes it so much easier to bother to fold them, and it looks pretty in the box like this. I keep my deodorant beside the t-shirts. It just fits perfectly there. My leggings are in a row. Here are my undershirts, also KonMari folded. It looks really nice in the tray. And it's only typically one out at a time. Slide it back in there so nicely. And then down here I've got my socks, underwear, pads, and pants in this bin right here. So at the bottom we have my pajama pants, extra shawls and veils for the girls when they're older, and some more baby clothes that have been outgrown, dresses. And and underneath my pajama pants is my pregnancy clothes that I don't fit into at the moment, but when the next baby hopefully comes, I will grow to fit into them. So over here we have our entryway to the lounge, where I have an over-the-door organizer. In this organizer I keep various projects I'm working on, so materials for religious education, projects for stuff I'm working on with the girls, and also book that I'm working on writing, some homeschool materials that need to be dealt with, some ready paper for when little Fox is ready to start composing letters on her own, and other blog materials. So over here we have our homeschool area. I keep a variety of books I'm using to homeschool the girls right here. A very large section of this is math picture books. I love to read the math picture books to the girls because it increases their familiarity with mathematical terms, and it presents mathematics in a way that is not intimidating and really allows them to be comfortable with the field of mathematics. In here I have a couple extra homeschool activities with like small pieces and things. I'd be very sad if they got lost, or there's some Ukrainian vocabulary here that hasn't been laminated, so I only want to pull it out when I'm sure we're going to be able to take care of the materials quite well. So we start over here with a math shelf, and we have 3 levels of mathematical activities for the girls. Then sensory activities, so things that involve the senses, so touch, we've got music, color activities would go on this shelf, and other activities which engage the senses. Next to that shelf we have our language shelf, so this primarily focuses on things like fine motor skills for writing, learning to write, learning to draw for drawing letters, so they're tracing, and also any letter activities. As they get older and writing isn't a skill they need to learn anymore, then it's going to focus primarily on vocabulary and grammar. So next to our language shelf we have our geography shelf, where we have our world map puzzle pieces, Ukrainian vocabulary for the continents, and other geographical materials would go under here. Then we have science, where we have names of different scientific categories and terms. We have backyard birds at the moment, and also STEM activities, so they're magnetitals, that kind of thing I categorize under science because that's where it's educating. And then finally right behind me here we have practical life, things like how to blow your nose and other practical life activities go on this shelf. So by the desk here we have this movable table, which I will move out of the way to show you the homeschool material underneath. So under this desk we have various categories of homeschool books. The kids aren't old enough for the majority of these subjects, or at least the material is far above their current age level, but I'm still organizing these materials and keeping them on hand so I always know what I have. The other thing I store under here is our other geography puzzles, because these are actually quite big. So it's difficult to find a good place to store them that's handy, so this is just definitely the best spot we've got for our various geography puzzles. And that way they're out of the way when we're not using them, and the pieces all stay together with the puzzle. So over here we have our large table, which is a good workspace when we need it to be. I keep my whiteboard on here where I can jot down things I need to remember. I've currently got one of the speeches from Henry V on here because I'm working on memorizing it. These are a more Waldorf activity for the girls, but it's also green and I love green, so I'm kind of using it as a decoration at the moment. But I will let the girls play with it again sometime soon. Next over here we have writing materials. I love these Papermate colored pens for writing, especially the green ones. And I keep a pencil sharpener and then Sharpies and some pencils and some scissors and a few pens easily on hand so that I don't need to go into the big closet when I need a writing material very quickly. So after the writing materials, we have some more sort of project stuff that I'm working on, but that I'm working on a bit more immediately than the projects that are hanging behind the door, and other reference materials that I need to get through quickly or on a more immediate basis. I have some papers here, books I've read where I want to talk it over with my husband. And this is my magazine holder for organizing materials. I have my organizing binder, which contains a lot of my project notes for organizing, tips and tricks, shortcuts, and then I've got several organizing books out from the library because I like to read everything anyone's ever written on organizing. Even if I don't agree with a lot of their stuff, there's always something that might give me a bit of a new perspective, and that's interesting. So down here is my to-do box, and these aren't things that I necessarily have to do, but that I would like to do. And if I can't find time to do the top thing in the box in a particular week, I'm gonna have to let it go, and then I go on to the next item in the box and see if I can get that project done in the current week. And if that doesn't happen, then I know I need to let it go because it's not a high enough priority for me right now, or it's not the right time. So theoretically I could dump everything in this entire box, but that's a little bit hard, so I'm giving myself a little bit of room to try and get these items done before getting rid of them. Over here is more of my books, because I have books everywhere, don't I? But I'm in this room a lot because it's where I homeschool the girls, and we have our icon corner in here. We like to do our read aloud time in here. So this is a nice space to have books that I would like easily on hand for reference, as well as books that just the sight of them makes me happy. So we've got a lot of homeschool books over here on homeschool methodology, fair bit of Catholic answer stuff. We recently got the Baltimore Catechism, which I'm working through reading some of myself at the moment. The Baltimore Catechism is probably going to get relocated out of this corner because it was more my husband's buy than mine, but I'm really interested in the stuff too. So we've got it here, and I recently finished reading True Devotion to Mary. It's probably going to make it to the shelf this way. It's just I've only just finished reading it, so we haven't determined final location. In the end over here, I have some bookmarks to use when reading. If I can ever use the bookmarks, I'm not good at using the bookmarks. I'm really good at grabbing a loose piece of paper or whatever else is on hand that is not a bookmark and putting that inside the books. I don't know why, because I have bookmarks right here, easy to grab. But there you go. And then I have notebooks. One of these notebooks has a lot of homeschool topics in it, and the other notebook has a lot of all the topics that aren't homeschool, where I make notes in it. And then in the back I have some more handwriting materials for little Fox, teaching her to write. Then finally I have this little tray here where I keep various things I want quick access to while I'm sitting here with the girls. So a hairbrush, because they love to brush my hair randomly during the day, so if I don't have to get up to go find a hairbrush and it can just always be here where they can find it, that's really helpful. I have a rosary prayer book. This one only has 3 out of the 5 Byzantine mysteries, but it's still nice to use when I'm praying any of those 3 mysteries. I have some notes from mathematics when I don't know if this was high school or university, but I want to get back into these notes because I'm losing some of the math that I learned. So that makes me sad because I love math. And we have just an icon in here, and usually this rosary is in a rosary bag. I have 2 of the exact same rosary, and that way if a kid comes up and wants to hold the rosary I'm using, I can hand the other one to the child. But that bag is currently in another room with that rosary because I took it out to pray in a space other than this room, because this green rosary is my favorite rosary. So next up we have our second walk-in closet. So at the top of the closet we have our photographs and memory books, some larger puzzle items. I've got the girls' a movable alphabet up there. Then there are stickers and wall hanging hooks. So on the next shelf here, I keep their puzzles freestanding without the pieces in them. And that condenses the area in which the puzzles take up. And with the puzzle pieces stored separately, I don't have to worry about them getting lost. Next we have some more of their sensory items, as well as imaginative play. I keep them in trays up here. In the far back there's some of their math numbers. And moving over here we have some more language materials. Here are their sensory colors and a little bit of their fine motor and practical life activities. So this is our math shelf. We have a 100 board here. In this book I have notes on the different mathematical categories that I want to teach the girls. We've got these puzzles here, math shapes over here, number rods are in here, along with one set of the math beads, because we just loaned this whole box out to a friend to use. We've got our place value set, so 1,000 beads, 100 beads, set of 10 beads and 1 beads. And these numbers are for the 100 board that's right here. Over here we have some math counters and dice, various items, and then some math activities for shapes and counting. And then in the back there's an assortment, so we've got memory, and this is for teaching the girls science. It's supposed to be for looking at gems close up, but we can use it to look at other items as well. Now below the math stuff we have our language drawer. So here's some music vocabulary, various assortment of different kinds of trees that I still need to make the vocabulary cards for. Same with, here are ocean animals that I need to make vocabulary cards for. A couple more bird vocabulary in here. And back here are more tracing cards for their language tracing items. Moving over here, we have their musical instruments are stored here, and then we got some language materials, and then moving into the geography, so Antarctica boxes there. I'm still filling their continent boxes. So you can see here we have a box for each of the 7 continents, along with more homeschool books, and at the very bottom we have more of their pretend play and creative play stuff. So over here we have a box with baby toys that'll be easy to pull out if we have any friends with babies over for a visit. Then we have gift bags, gift wrap. Above that there are cards. Over here there are some large envelopes as well as notebooking paper. Then here you get to see where I'm storing the puzzle pieces for all those puzzles that are stored vertically up above. Moving up again, we have folders for a book I'm working on, a folder for music. Those are some science, homeschool materials and books, colored paper, and various printer paper. Moving over here we have prayers and sheets for Icon Corner. We have a 54-day novena there. Various sort of encyclicals or other religious texts my husband's printed out. The green binder there has the Divine Office in it. Hanging out above the colored papers is colored pencil crayons sorted by color, so if we run out I can just go in there and find the color we need. Moving up over here we have more Icon Corner stuff. In here we keep our Typica liturgy sheets, so we just grab one out for each member of the family praying Typica. This has our letters to our sponsored child in Ukraine, and then this has an assortment of coloring materials that are more refills for the stuff that's out here. Out here we have in a tray, I've got various colored markers, pencil crayons, crayons, scissors. Over there is a crafting bin. Then up here we've got our hot glue gun, more labeling type materials, sticky tack things for putting things on the wall, and then office supplies on a spinning shelf. So we've got erasers, glue, staples, clips, other various items. In the back we've got our Sharpies, and then here is the family paperwork. So we've got a binder full of papers that we will need to access on a regular basis, and then a folder with more long-term papers and insurance information, and then Finally, a folder with last year's taxes. Finally, at the top, we have our large items like the girls' Practical Life tea set, back stock of crafting items that aren't going to be used as often, as well as things for parties. At the top over here, we have excess binders and empty folders, as well as clipboards and an electric air pump. You can see over here, this kind of gets into our area of electronics. Over here is the flashlight, which goes into the electronics duster. The green tray is where the camera is stored. Next to that is the microphone. And then a tray which has a various assortment of cords stored in it. And we've got an extra extension cord on the top. Behind that are some blank CDs or DVDs, I'm not actually sure which. On the next level, we have next to the stationery area a couple other items of a stationery assortment, so pens and chalk pens for labels, our erasable pens in the back, and other erasable writing materials. Next to that we have tape, so we move from regular tape to more heavy-duty tapes and electrical tape. In these trays we have, so this one has USBs, the one in the back has some cord parts, then there's batteries, and then a variety of electrical items that didn't fit anywhere else. And down here we have a tray which has all the items that my husband uses for podcasting, or equipment of the similar nature that I don't understand what it does, but my husband needs to be able to find it, so I keep it all in that tray, and that way if he says, "Where's this thing?" and I have no idea what it is, I know it's probably in that tray, because that's where I put those items. Next to those items is our laminator, and behind the laminator is the laminating paper, just so that it doesn't get mixed in with everything else. Below this, we have our various assortment of printer paper. On top of the printer paper, I have trays for our homeschool materials that go on the shelves, so I can always switch out for any of those trays when I'm gathering our homeschool materials in the closet, or if I need more trays than are currently on the shelf, or if I've got extra trays from after I'm done switching out the shelves, I add them here. At the very bottom, we have some sensory pieces of carpet, and there's a bag for some of the lighting materials for transport, and other things for the microphone.